Hey, Wealth Builders. I'm often asked the difference between commercial real estate and residential real estate, and specifically for investing. So what's the major difference that I've experienced in investing in commercial properties versus residential properties? Residential would be considered 1 to 4 residential units, and 5 or more would be considered commercial for residential housing. And strip malls, stores, outlets, industrial, that kind of thing for manufacture, creation of goods and services, or exchange is what I'm meaning when I say commercial. So 5 or more units, and or the typical what you think of when you look at so the biggest difference, and which actually in all honesty kind of came as a surprise to me, is one of the major ways that most of us, for a quick look at a property, will judge a property is based on cash flow. And that cash flow translates to a cap rate. So if you have a residential cap rate, and let's say it's a 5% cap rate, and if you don't know what that is, you can follow along, like for more. I'm happy to discuss and educate. But if you have a residential cap rate that's at 5% and a commercial cap rate that's at 6%, the residential cap rate might actually be better. You typically want a higher rate means better cash flow. The reason for that, and the biggest surprise that I've found, is what it costs to do turnovers in commercial real estate. The turnover cost is so much bigger that it really has an impact to your bottom line. So where you might think, oh, I've got enough spread here that I can have some cash flow left over at the end of the year, you might have a dentist that you want to rent to. It's a good deal for you and for them, but it might cost $250,000 to do the build out of their space. So if you're spending $250,000 to do the build out of the space, it takes a long time. So I really, and I think this comes without saying, don't suggest people start off in commercial. I think residential is a lot more forgiving than commercial real estate is. If you make a mistake in residential, you can kind of pivot and recover from it. But in commercial, it can catch up on you fast if you're not really well capitalized. So advantages of commercial is it's run more like a business, and it can be a little bit more predictable, a little bit. And it's a great capital play over a long period of time. But the reality is residential, 1 to 4 units, a lot more forgiving than commercial. So follow and like for more, and appreciate your patronage, and yeah.